piano players, Teacher Shannon here. Welcome to this week's booster lesson. This week we're going to start something new. So in addition to it being a rhythm lesson, we're going to do some notation. Notation is a fancy word for writing down our music. So you don't need to be at your piano today, but you do need to print out today's lesson, lesson 10B. There's 3 pages of it. Also, you're going to need a pencil. And if you have some colored pencils, that would be fantastic. If not, don't sweat it. Pencil will work just fine. And last thing you're going to need is a rhythm instrument. So a rhythm instrument could be a hand drum, it could be rhythm sticks, it could be a pot and a wooden spoon, it could be a pair of wooden spoons, plastic cups, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use something called a clave today. So clave are fancy rhythm sticks. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and collect your supplies. I'll wait for you. Great, let's get started. So I wanted to start with some copycat rhythms. Rhythms are our longs and shorts and silences. I'm going to tap it on my instrument. You tap it back on yours. Ready? Baked beans and ham. Baked beans and ham. Your turn. Try this one. It's going to rain today. Fantastic. Try this one. Bicycle, tricycle, bicycle, tricycle. Fantastic. You can make up some of your own rhythms and have your families and friends copycat. But we're going to move on today to reviewing our rhythm symbols. So you probably are an expert now on this note, a quarter note. And quarter notes get 1 beat. Half notes are going to get 2 beats. Dotted half notes, 3 beats. And whole notes are going to get 4 beats, aren't they? In our rhythm and notation pages, the very first page at the top, we have just 2 rhythms. We have a green rhythm and we have a yellow rhythm. Let's try doing that green rhythm together. You can either look at your paper as you play or just watch the top of the screen here. All right? Let's try the green rhythm. Not too fast. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How did that go? How are you at counting as you play? Counting our rhythms as we play is a super helpful skill for us musicians, especially us piano players, and it's so much easier to try it when you're just doing rhythms without playing a song. Let's try that same green rhythm again, and I want you to try counting out loud. We're going to count 1 for the quarters, 1, 2 for the half notes, 1, 2, 3 for the dotted halves, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for the whole notes. All right, green rhythm. Let's try it again. Ready, set, go. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How is that? Better or harder because you were counting out loud? Don't worry, I promise it'll get easier the more you do it without counting out loud, and it'll be worth it, I promise. All right, let's try the yellow rhythm. Ready, set, go. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. How did that go? Let's try it again. And if you didn't count the first time, definitely count this time. Ready, set, go. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hopefully that was a little easier, maybe? If not, that's okay. You keep playing that rhythm and the green one, and it'll get easier the more you do. Ooh, I have a challenge for you. I'm going to play either the green rhythm or the yellow one on my claves here, and you see if you can guess which one I'm doing. All right? Listen up. Could you tell which one I was doing? There was a couple of hints in the rhythm. One of them was at the beginning, there were some long notes and some dotted half notes, weren't there? And then towards the end, there was a bunch of those quarter notes. Listen again. I'm going to play that same rhythm counting this time. And you have to guess, is it the green or the yellow? Ready, set, go. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Did you say the yellow rhythm? If you did, super. You're totally perfect. That's exactly what I did. All right, so rhythm instruments down and find that pencil. We're going to be doing some drawing. On the next section of your sheets here, you have a picture of a quarter note and then 2 blue boxes right next door. What I'd like you to do is draw your very own quarter note in this box and then your very own quarter note in this box. Start with the circle, color it in, and then put a stick on it. On this line right here, you're going to write the number 1 because quarter notes get 1 beat. So for those quarter notes, let's start by drawing a circle, coloring it in, and then put a stem on it. The stem will go up and it'll start on the back side or to the right of the note. Ooh, do it again. Draw your circle, color it in, put a stem on it. And again, right underneath this first quarter note, there's a little line here, and I want you to write the number 1 on that line, since quarter notes get 1 beats. Ooh, let's try some half notes next. So half notes are a little easier because you just have to draw the circle, don't color it in, and put the stem on it. Try that again. Draw a circle, put a stem on it. There's your half notes. And over here on this line, I want you to write 1-2 because half notes get 2 beats, but we don't just say 2 for our half notes, do we? We say 1, 2. One more. Let's try this dotted half note down here. So draw the circle, put the stem on the note, and then draw that dot right afterwards. The dot will always go on the right of the note. Try it again. Draw the circle, put the stem on, draw the dot. And since dotted half notes get 3 beats, on that line underneath the note, I'd like you to write 1-2-3. Super. Remember, if I go too fast, you just pause the video, and then unpause when you're ready to continue. Now, grab those colored pencils if you have them. Again, if you don't have it, not a problem, because we can do something else. But if you do have the colored pencils, go ahead and grab those and keep those handy. So down below the rhythms, we have a picture of a piano keyboard. And what I'd like you to do is one of two things. I want us to label the C scales on both of the groups of two doghouses here. So I want you to label your C. Remember, the C's on the bottom of the doghouse. Or if you have those colored pencils, we're going to do a rainbow C scale. So take a blue pencil and color in your C's blue. On the keyboard in the picture here, there's two of them, isn't there? Next door to the C is our D, isn't there? D's in the middle of the doghouse. So you can either write D on that key, or you can color it in. What's the order of the rainbow? Blue, green is the next color. So you can color your D's green. Do you remember what white key is on the top of the doghouse? E. So you can write the E on the keys, or color in the E's with the next color of the rainbow. What's the order of the rainbow? Blue, green, yellow. So if you have a yellow pencil, color your E's in yellow. Remember, if I'm coloring too fast or labeling things too fast, you just pause the playback. Unpause it when you're ready to continue. Okay, so the barn notes. Do you remember the white keys here next to the barns? This is where our musical alphabet ends and starts over again, isn't it? F, G, A, B. Today, we're just labeling the C scale, so we don't need to label A's and B's, but I would like you to write an F on the F's, which is on the bottom of the groups of three black keys, or you can color it the next color of the rainbow. Blue, green, yellow, orange is the next color, so you can color your F's orange, or just write the F on the key. Lastly, let's label our G's. G's are one step above the F's, aren't they? Between the first two black keys of the barn. There we go, here's our G's. Or you can color them in red. Make our G's red. And there you have it. Rainbow C scales. C, D, E, F, G. C, D, E, F, G. Great. Okay, now let's do a quick review on those 5 notes that we've been learning how to read, and then you get a chance to draw them. Check this out. So pianist's choice for these treble clefs, if you want to use a pencil or a fun color. I'm going to use a pretty boring but nice dark black pencil so you can see what I'm doing here. So for those treble clefs, let's break it down. You're going to draw a J, and it's kind of going to, well, it's going to be a skinny J that covers all the staff lines here. See that? And it even pokes out a little bit on top. Once you get your J drawn, go back to the top of your J, draw a little half circle on the top. Then, right where that half circle stops, you're going to draw a bigger half circle on the other side, but have it stop on the bottom line like that. Last step, right where that bigger half circle stopped, you're going to curl it around line number 2. Treble clefs always wrap their curly part around line number 2 of the staff lines. That part's important, but it might take a few tries to get it placed correctly. How'd it go? Let's try again. Draw your J. Draw a little bubble at the top. Big bubble on the other side, stopping on that bottom staff line. And then curl it around line number 2. I'm going to demo just one more, but you can pause the video and practice treble clefs until you have all of these staff lines filled up with them. Okay, here it is one more time. Here's the J, half circle, bigger half circle, and then curl it around so it curls on that second line. Don't get frustrated. It takes a while to get good on these treble clefs. Remember, every set of staff lines has 5 lines in it, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like we have 5 fingers. And every set of staff lines has 4 spaces in between those 5 lines. Depending on which line or space you put your notes, tells us which key to push down on the piano. We've learned to memorize 5 so far in the treble clef, haven't we? We've learned to memorize the one that hangs off below the staff and has the whisker line through it. Remember the cat? We've learned to memorize the one that's hiding right below line number 1. Remember your dog. We've learned to memorize the note on line number 1 in the treble clef, the elephant. The one in that very first space is our frog. And the note on line number 2 is our giraffe. Now it's your turn to draw these notes. Let's try. So on page 2 of your rhythm and notation sheet, you have some examples of some cats, both with and without ears, some dogs, again with and without ears, and elephant, with and without nose. I want you to try drawing that cat first, and the trick with the notes is to draw the circle part first. So the cat, remember, does not bump up against line number 1. There should be some space above that circle. Then give it some whiskers. Make sure the whiskers extend beyond the circle. And then give it its stem. Cat's that only note that we're going to work on for right now that has the whisker line. Let's try again. Draw the circle. Give it a whisker line. And then put a stem on it. Now, pianist's choice if you want to put little cat ears on it to help you remember that this is the cat. Draw 4 or 5 more next to the samples of the cats. Pause the video. I'll wait. Okay, moving on. Let's try drawing some dogs next. Now, the trick to the dogs is that you want to make the circle first and bump it right up against that very, very first line. Don't accidentally make it cross the first line because then we just turned it into an elephant. Oops. Nope, bump the circle up to the right against that first line and then give it a tail. The stem should go up on our dogs. Let's try a couple more. Draw the circle bumped up against line number 1 and give it a tail. 1 more, or 2 more, or 3 more. Great. If you want more time, pause. If not, let's take a look at those elephants. Now, one more piece of advice when you're drawing your notes. Make sure you have a nice, sharp pencil. Dull pencils make it really hard to get the placement correct. Is your pencil sharp? We'll need it for these elephants. So for the elephant, you might want to trace mine first again. And you're going to draw that circle half above, half below line number 1. We need to make sure that there's some space above your circle and line number 2. Otherwise, it might look like an elephant frog. We won't know. So make sure that elephant is just half above, half below, with some space above it. Once you got your circle placed correctly, give it a tail. Try a few more. Draw that circle half above, half below. Give it a tail. You can pause here and draw some more elephants, or we can continue on to page number 3 of your rhythm and notation, where we get to draw some frogs and giraffes. Okay, 2 more notes to do today. Let's draw the frog next. The frog's circle goes in space number 1 of the staff lines. Again, you can trace my sample here, or you can try and freelance it. Circle, we want to make sure it is touching line number 1 and line number 2, but isn't crossing over the top of them. Once you got your circle placed, give it a stem. Frog legs are optional. Let's try again. Circle in space number 1. Give it a stem. One more, circle, and give it a stem. Feel free to fill up this whole set of staff lines with frogs if you want. I'm going to move on to the giraffes, however. Okay, for giraffes, count up to line number 2, and that's where our circle goes. So start with the circle, half above, half below, kind of like the elephants, but it has to be on line number 2. And then give it a stem. You can trace mine, or you can draw your own. Again, that trick is, though, to make sure that your circle isn't too big. Oh my goodness, that's definitely too big. I can't tell if it's a giraffe or a frog. It's almost dipping down into the elephant spot. That's okay. I'm going to exit out and I'm going to try again. So line number 2, half above, half below, and give it a stem. Great. All right, piano players, last thing for you to explore is at the bottom of page 3. You have 2 sets of empty staff lines, and these empty staff lines are for you to draw whatever you want. You can draw your treble clefs, you can practice drawing your notes, you can write a little tune, write a little song. It's up to you. Have fun. Be sure and show off your awesome notes to your family and friends. Okay, excellent work today. I'll see you soon for your next piano lesson. Have fun drawing notes. Bye-bye.